Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of my Flash pixel art tutorial. Now, for those of you who don't know, I uploaded a video a while back asking everyone if they prefer pixel art tutorial parts to be around 30 to 45 minutes long or about an hour plus, like 2 hours, 3 hours, etc. And for the most part, it looked like mostly everyone wanted about 30 to 45 minutes long for the pixel art tutorial parts. So that's how it's going to be from now on. And don't worry, I'm not going to keep saying this at the beginning of every video. I'm just saying this at the beginning of the current tutorial parts that I'm working on, so that way no one misses out on what's going on. So we're going to start off by switching to the gold block, because we're going to start working on some more lightning, because we're missing some lightning. So let's head all the way back down here, kind of towards the bottom right corner of the pixel art, and we're going to find these 3 black wolves that we have going up on the right that are next to these pumpkins here. So, finding these 3 black wolves, starting from the bottom block, we're going to be placing 1 gold block going down to the right. So, that's 1. And now from this block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks diagonal up to the right. So that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those. And now we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Now, I am going to be going a little faster than usual from the previous parts for this tutorial, only because we don't have that much time to work on for each part now, and I'm confident in all of you that have gotten to this point in the pixel art tutorial part, so I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to keep up without pausing the video, but of course feel free to pause the video so you don't mess up here and there, and if you feel like you still need to catch up a bit. But for the most part, I feel confident in all of you. You'll be able to keep up. Okay, so now we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. And now from these 2 blocks, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get rid of that placement block, and what we're going to be doing next is flying directly underneath the 4 gold blocks that we placed going up on the right. You're going to fly directly underneath it like this with your Minecraft character, and then once you're directly underneath it, you're going to look straight down, and then you're going to drop. Now, if you've landed on the placement block that we put at the beginning of part 1, over here on the right side, then you're doing everything correctly so far, and we can finally get rid of this placement block. Now, of course, it's important to note that whenever I put a placement block on the right side or the left side that's above ground, you should never get rid of it until I actually tell you to. Same thing goes for the center block. So let's go back up here. Now we're going to switch over to a placement block and put a block on the right side of the left, not the right side, the left side of the top block of the 4 gold. So on the left top, that's 1 placement block there. Now switch over to the gold block. Underneath it, we're going to add 2 gold blocks going down. So that's 1, 2. Let's fly up, get rid of that. Let's fly back down. And now from here, we're going to be placing 2 diagonal down to the left. So that's 1 and 2. And now place 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 3 diagonal. Let's see, is it 3? Yeah, 3 diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. I was second guessing myself there for a second. Okay, now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. So that's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. That's 1. And it should be making contact with the bottom block of these 17 black wolves that we have here. Now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 11 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Next, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2. Now, underneath the left block of these 2 blocks here, so from there, we're going to be adding 2 blocks going down. So that's 1, 2. And then we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. Now we're going to move up here, and this empty space that's above this gold outline that we just made here, we're going to be filling this entire space that's right here with the gold block. So let's do that now. Fill all of this with gold. So it should look like this when you're done. Now, we're going to move up here to these 4 black walls that are right next to the empty space that we just filled in with gold up here to the right. So, starting from the, let's start from underneath it. So, starting underneath it, we're just going to be placing 1 gold block. So, that's 1. And now, place 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. And now, from this block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now place 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be switching over to the placement block, and starting from the top block on the left side of these 5 gold blocks, we're going to be placing 1 placement block there. Once you've done that, we're going to be switching over to the gold block, and starting underneath the placement block here, we're going to be placing 3 diagonal down to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, it should be making contact with the top block of these 4 black walls here. So let's get rid of the placement blocks now. And we're going to fly back down here to these 2 gold blocks that we placed going across just before we place these 5 blocks up here on the right. So let's head back down here to these 2 blocks. Starting underneath the right block of these 2, we're going to be adding 2 gold blocks. So that's 1 going down, that's 1, and that's 2. So we have this kind of backwards upside down L shape. Alright, so now starting from the, starting from the bottom block, we're going to be placing a linked 6 blocks going down on the left. That's a linked 6 on the left. So that's 1 right there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now placement blocks needed for the linked block, so it should look like that. Now we're going to head back again to the bottom block of these 2 blocks that we placed going down. So starting from here again, this time we're going to be placing 5 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3. And now starting from the middle block of these 3 blocks on the left side of it, we're going to be placing 1 gold block. So that's 1. And now from this 1 gold block, we're going to be placing another block going down to the left. So that's 1. So while we're here, we're also going to be filling in just this single empty space here, also with the gold block, so just fill that in with gold. Alright, now we're going to move back over here to the 5 gold blocks going across. We're going to start from the middle block of these 5 here, so right there, the middle block. Starting underneath the middle block, we're going to be adding 2 blocks across to the left. So that's 1, and that's 2. And now from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks diagonal down to the left. That's 1 and 2. Now I'm going to fly back a bit so you can see the entire thing of what we've done with the gold. And of course you can pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Alright, now we're going to be flying down here. We're going to be filling in 2 empty spaces with gold. So pay close attention to this. We're going to be filling just this single space first with gold block. Don't fill in anything else just yet. Fill this in with gold. Now, once you've done that, we're going to fly up here, and we're going to fill in this empty space that's up here with the gold block. Fill this in with gold. And it should look like that. We're not going to be filling in that empty space right there, because then that just gets rid of the illusion of the lightning going its zigzag pattern here like this. So Make sure you didn't fill that in, because I didn't tell you to fill that in. Alright, now we're gonna fly back down here, still remaining with the gold block, because we're in a gold mood. We're gonna fly all the way back, not too far from where we left off, just from there, just going back down here to the left. We're gonna find this one black wool that's right next to this other outline that we also filled in earlier with this empty space here with the gold block. So just following down here, this path, finding this one black wool, we're gonna be placing one gold block on the left side of it, like this. Now, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be tracing the outline of this black wool, going all the way up, and we're going to stop underneath these three black wools up here. We're not going to place any blocks on the left side of the three black wools. We're going to stop underneath it, right there, underneath it. So let's head all the way back down, and we're going to now trace the outline of the black wool with the gold block going all the way up. Making sure you stop underneath the three black wools, not next to it. Let's place all of these gold blocks, saving us a lot of time on just placing them one by one. Instructions. Alright, there we go. Whoops. Accidentally placed it next to it. Okay. So it should look like this at the very end. We stopped underneath the three blocks, not next to it, on the left like that. Okay, so I'll fly back a bit for those of you who probably didn't understand, which I'm assuming is none of you. All of you understood that. Okay. So now we're going to be trying to close this area off, but we're going to have to do a little more outlining with pumpkin, red, netherrack, and nether brick. So for now, we're going to be putting away the gold block. Should we? No, not just yet. We want to fill in some stuff with the gold. Let's move over here to the right. We're going to be to the right down here. The first area where we started with the gold. We're going to be just filling in these two empty spaces. That single space and this empty space here with the gold just before we put it away. And we'll return to it in a bit after we're done doing some outlining. Okay, let's put away the gold for now. And we're going to use the jack-o'-lantern. So let's switch over to the jack-o'-lantern now. And we're going to start from, let's say, the bottom block of these 11 gold blocks that we had going up. It's a little hard to see now because the area filled in. But going back again to these 11 gold blocks, we're going to start from the bottom block on the left side of it. Now, like I mentioned before, we need to put a placement block underneath the area we're going to start from because pumpkins can't support themselves. You can see I'm not putting anything, or I'm trying to put something there, but the pumpkin won't go because there isn't anything underneath it, so we're going to have to put some placement blocks like that. So, starting from the bottom block on the left side, so starting from here, we're going to be placing four not pumpkins, but four jack-o'-lanterns going up. Make sure they're jack-o'-lanterns so we can get that glow-in-the-dark effect at night. So, we're going to get like that, and let's get rid of the placement blocks. Okay, so now starting from the top block of these four jack-o'-lanterns, so from this block, we're going to be placing 3 diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of the placement blocks now. It should look like that. And now we're going to be filling in this empty space here, up here, between the gold and the jack-o'-lantern. We're going to be filling this in with the jack-o'-lanterns, so let's fill that in. Of course, making sure you're placing the jack-o'-lanterns at the side and not backwards, because you don't want this face showing either way. You don't want it showing from the back or the front. You want just the side. Alright, so it should look like that. And why don't we go ahead and take a quick little sneak peek at what it looks like during the dark. You don't have to do this. I'll just do this for entertainment purposes. So, boom, look at the right screen. You can even look at the first screen here on the left. But that's how it's coming along so far with the jack-o'-lanterns. That's why I'm making sure that you are aware that you need to use jack-o'-lanterns so we get this nice, cool, glow-in-the-dark effect for the flash. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and return it back to day. I'll be honest, this is one of the most nice-looking pixel arts that I like viewing at night to date so far because of the jack-o'-lanterns. Sometimes if I use glowstone, it doesn't look as well as it would look like if jack-o'-lantern was used. But then again, it comes down to what type of color I actually need. So, now, let's see. Do I want to use the jack-o'-lanterns still? Yeah, why not? I'm still debating on whether to switch stuff, but let's get the jack-o'-lanterns out of the way because they do need to be supported. So, we're going to head back down here to this one black wall that's directly underneath this one gold block that we placed next to that black wall that was part of the outline tracing. So, heading back to this one black wall on the left side of it, we're going to be placing one jack-o'-lantern. That's one. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. So that's 1, and 2, and 3. Making sure we use the placement blocks. And let me just take a quick second. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go back up here to the same block that I was just talking about a few seconds ago. Going back to this block, this time we're going to start on the left side of it, and we're going to be placing 2 jack-o'-lanterns going across to the left, on the left side of it. So let's get these placement blocks here first. So that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of them now. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. So it's going to have to look like this. So that's 1. Okay, making sure everything looks like this so far. Alright, now what we're going to be doing next is, let's switch over to some red wool now. We'll put away the jack-o'-lantern aside. We're going to be coming back to it in just a bit. But let's switch over to the red wool. We're also going to be needing the netherrack, the nether brick, and we're also, I believe, going to be needing the black wool in a little bit later. Alright, so let's switch over to the red wool for now. Let's head back down here to the 3 jack-o'-lanterns that we had going across, starting on the left side of it. So from there, we're going to be placing 1 red wool, so that's 1. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left, that's 1. And now place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. And now place 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks diagonal up to the left. That's 1 and 2. And as you can see, it should be making contact with the 6 red wools that we have here, just going down. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to the netherrack. Now with the netherrack starting on top of this 1 red wool here, we're going to be placing 1 netherrack on top of it, so that's 1. And now what we're essentially going to do is just trace the outline of this red wool, and we're going to stop on top of this red wool. So we're going to stop right there on top of the red wool. So let's just trace the outline with the netherrack. Let's trace it. There we go. So it should look exactly like this. Go ahead and pause the video if you have to, just to keep up. Making sure it also looks like that. Okay, now we're going to be switching over, just for a sec, we're going to be switching over to the nether brick. Now with the nether brick, we're going to move up here. And starting from this 1 netherrack, the last one that we placed on top of this red wool, part of the tracing part. So starting from this 1 netherrack, we're going to be placing 3 nether bricks going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And it should look like this. Now we're going to be switching over to the black wool and moving over here to this empty space right here that's outlined with black wool. We're just going to be filling in this, this empty space here with the black wool. So let's just fill this in with black wool. There we go, making sure you stay within the outline. And now we're going to be switching back over to the nether brick, and with the nether brick, we're going to be filling in this empty space here with the nether brick. So let's fill this in. Like so. And it should look like this when you're done filling it in. Now that we've done that, we're going to be switching back over to the jack-o'-lantern, and with the jack-o'-lantern, we're going to be filling in this empty space here with the jack-o'-lanterns, making sure you put them facing at one side, Let's go ahead and fill this in, get more of that color into the pixel art so we can have it looking great during the night. And there we go. So go ahead and pause the video if you have to, just to compare, but I'm pretty sure you've caught up to where we are by now, so let's see what else are we going to do here. I definitely want to close this area up, so what we're going to be doing next is switching back over to the, let's see, we're going to switch over to the netherrack for a sec. Now with the netherrack, we're going to head up here back to this one jack-o'-lantern that's by itself. Starting from this one block, we're going to be placing 2 netherracks going up on the left. So that's 1 and 2. And now we're going to be switching over to the nether brick, and we're going to be placing 1 nether brick underneath these 3 black walls that are right here. So underneath these 3 black walls, place 1 nether brick, and it should look like that. Now we're going to be switching over to the gold block. Now with the gold block, we're going to be filling in this single empty space here. You see this empty space that we just created? This single empty space is a lightning bolt, and we're going to be filling it in with the gold block, making sure you stay within the outline. So go ahead and do that now. Fill this in with the gold, so we get some more lightning streaks on the Flash, showing him how fast he can actually travel. Okay, there we go. So it should look like that. Very nice and simple. Now what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be switching over. Why don't we start off with the simple one? We'll start from, work our way from the outside going back in. So let's start off by using the red wool. Let's head back down here once again, going back down to this one pumpkin. Starting on top of the pumpkin, we're going to be placing, starting from here, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Once you've done that, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going up on the right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now place 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. Now from these 2 blocks, what we're going to be doing next is placing 2 sets of 4s going up on the right. So 2 sets of 4s. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. Let's get rid of these placement blocks. And let's fly back up here. And now from here, we're going to be placing 15 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 blocks. That's 15 red wool, so let's fly back down here. Let's get rid of that placement block. And now we're going to be flying back up. Now from the top block, we're going to be placing 8 blocks going up on the left. We're switching sides. Going up on the left, we're going to be placing 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's get rid of that. Let's fly back up here. And now we're going to be placing 4 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going up on the left. 2 sets of 3s. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 1. 1, 2, 3. That's 2. Let's get rid of those. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. That's 1. And now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. And now we're going to be switching over to the black wool. And with the black wool, starting underneath this red wool here, we're going to be adding 6 black wools going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once we've done that, we're going to head back up here. And what we're going to do next is, let's see, we're going to switch over to the pumpkin block. It's going to be a little, the jack-o'-lantern, I should say, not pumpkin. Alright, so let's switch over to the jack-o'-lantern. It's going to be kind of, let's see, how are we going to do this? We're going to switch over to the placement block. And, yeah, why not? Let's go back up here. We're going to start from the top block of these. No. I'm trying to figure out, because we're going to have to use the jack-o'-lantern. I don't want to use a lot of placement blocks. So, to do this next part, we're going to leave the jack-o'-lantern aside for now. Or we'll save that in a little bit. You'll see what I was trying to do a little later. But for now, we're going to fly all the way back down here. And we'll do it this way. We're going to fly all the way back up here to the top part of the Flash's symbol of his lightning bolt. We're going to fly up here, and we're going to go to these 2 black wools that are going across, that are right next to these 3 yellow wools. Now, with the netherrack, we're going to switch over to the netherrack for a sec. We're going to be placing 1 block on top of the left block of these 2 black wools. Place 1 block there. And now, on top of this black wool here, that's right next to it, we're going to be placing 3 netherracks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now we have this kind of backwards L shape. So we'll come back to the netherrack in a bit, but first let's switch now to the red wool, and let's head back to this first netherrack that we placed. Now starting on top of the netherrack, right here, this one netherrack, not the one up here, but down here. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going up on the right with red wool. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. So now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1 and 2. And now we're going to be placing 15 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's fly all the way back down here and get rid of that placement block. Let's fly all the way back up. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. And now 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. Now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks diagonal up to the right. That's 1 and 2. So now we're going to be switching over to the pumpkin, because I was trying to use the least amount of placement blocks that I could, but I realized that starting from the bottom of the outline of the pumpkin would work the best. So that's why I came all the way down here from the red one. That's fine if you don't understand, believe me. Now, starting on top of this red wool here with the jack-o'-lantern, not the pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern, I keep saying that, we're going to be placing 4 blocks diagonal up to the right with jack-o'-lantern, so that's 1, 2, whoops, I just got 2, 3, and 4. Let's get rid of that placement block, and let's head back up here. Now we're going to be placing 2 jack-o'-lanterns going up on the right. That's 1 and 2. And now place 3 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of that placement block. I'll fly back a bit so you can see the entire thing. And of course you can pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Alright, so now we're going to be switching back over to the netherrack, because I said we were going to come back to that block. So let's go ahead and switch to the netherrack. And let's head all the way back down here, back to the backwards L shape. Now, starting from the top block of these 3 netherracks that we had going up, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. And now place 2 blocks diagonal up to the right. So that's 2. That's 1 and 2. That's 2 diagonal. So it should look like this so far. Now, we're going to be placing 8 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. So now let's get rid of those placement blocks. Let's head all the way back up here. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks diagonal up to the right. That's 1 and 2. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. So that's 1, 2. Now from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, 2. And now starting from the bottom block of these 2 netherracks, on the right side of it, so starting from there, we're going to be adding 3 blocks going up. So that's 1, 2, and 3. It should look like this. Now starting from the bottom block of these 3 netherracks, so starting from that block, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the right. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So we have that empty space like that, okay? Next, we're going to be placing 25 blocks going down on the right. That's 25 blocks going down on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. That's 25 netherracks that went down on the right. Okay, now we're going to be placing 6 blocks going down on the left. We're switching sides, obviously. Going down on the left, 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing a linked 5 blocks going down on the left. That's a linked 5 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, of course, if you didn't hear me for whatever reason and wondering how come you can't place 5, I said linked. So we start up here. That's the linked 5. Okay, so now we're just going to be tracing the remaining outline here of the red wall, stopping on top of these 2 red walls here. So let's just trace the remaining outline with the red wall. Don't really need to give you instructions for this part. So there we go. So it should look exactly like this when you're done filling it in. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be switching over to the red wool. Now with the red wool, we're only going to be filling in the empty spaces that are between the netherrack and the red wool, not anything else. So only the empty spaces in between the netherrack and the red wool get filled in with the red wool right now. So let's fill in these small empty spaces right here. Again, only in between the netherrack and the red wall. So up here as well gets filled in. And we'll fill this in as well. There we go. And we're done. So there you go. So it should look like this so far when you're done filling that part in. Now we're going to be switching over to, let's say, the nether brick. Now with the nether brick, we're going to head all the way back down here. We're going to start on top of the 5 linked blocks that we had here. So starting from the top block of the 5 linked. So starting from here, if it's a little too hard for you to find, I'll fly back a bit. Okay, so again, going back to the linked 5 netherracks, I should say. Going back to where we had the 5 linked netherracks, we're going to start We're going to start on top of it. So starting from there, we're going to be placing we're going to be placing 6 nether bricks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it should look exactly like this so far. Alright, so now from the top block of these 6 nether bricks, we're going to be placing 27 blocks going up on the right. That's 27. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's 27 nether bricks going up on the right, and it should be making contact with the bottom block of these 3 netherracks here. So make sure to pause the video if you have to, just to catch up. Okay, so now we're going to be switching over to a placement block, and we're going to be putting it on the left side of the top block of these 27 blocks. So put 1 block there on the left. And then we're going to be switching over to the nether brick underneath the placement block. We're going to be adding 2 nether bricks going across to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of that. And now from here, we're going to be placing 3 diagonal down to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of those. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. And now we're going to be tracing the remaining nether brick outline going all the way down. And we're going to stop on top of this 1 black wool that's right here. The top block of the left of these 2 black wool. So we're going to stop right there on top of it. So let's just trace the remaining outline with the nether brick of the nether rack. So, and we're going to stop right there on top of the black wool. So it should be making contact. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Now what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be flying all the way back down here, still remaining with the nether rack, or no, excuse me, nether brick. We're going to go back down here where we started with the nether brick on top of the 5 linked nether racks. So down here, this empty space right here in between the black wool and the nether rack, we're going to be filling this in with the nether brick. So go ahead and do that now. Just fill this in with the nether brick. And when you're done filling it in, it should look like that. Alright, so now we're going to, let's see, we're going to be switching blocks now. We're going to be switching over to the nether rack. Now with the nether rack, we're going to be filling in these small, skinny empty spaces. They're very skinny, these empty spaces. Only the empty space in between the nether rack and the nether brick are going to get filled in with the nether rack. And there's only a total of 4. So let's fill in these empty spaces with the nether rack. Again, only in between the nether brick and the nether rack, where you fill them in with the nether rack. Let's fill all of this in. So there we go. When you're done filling it in, I'll fly back a bit. It should look exactly like this. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing for our last step for this pixel art tutorial part, we're going to be putting away these blocks here because we're not going to be needing them. We're going to be... Why not? Let's put them all away for just a sec. Let me get a little organized here. So we're going to use the black one just a sec as well. Let's put this way. Okay. So these are the type of blocks you're going to be needing. In order. We're going to switch over to the black wool. We're going to be switching over to the nether brick. And we're going to be switching over to the jack-lantern because this next part is going to be time-lapse. In other words, I'm going to fast-forward it because you don't need to spend 5 minutes watching me fill in these 3 empty spaces in silence. So, pay attention. I'm going to tell you what to fill in with what type of blocks. Okay. Again, put them in order like this: black wool, nether brick, and jack-lantern, so you don't get confused. So starting off with the black wool here, right next to his symbol, his lightning symbol, this single large empty space here is going to get filled in with the black wool, obviously staying within the outline. Be careful of that. And then switch back over to the nether brick. And now the next empty space is right next to the black wool area that you're going to be filling this in. You're going to be filling this empty space here with the nether brick. And then finally, we're going to be switching over to the jack-o'-lantern, and with the jack-o'-lantern, you're going to be filling in the remaining empty space that's right here in between the gold block and the red wool. This area here is going to get filled in with the jack-o'-lantern. Now, to do a little recap again, first over here to the left, black wall, the middle up here, nether brick, and then the right side here gets jack-o'-lantern. So go ahead and do that now. And when you're done filling it in, it should look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and continue my Flash pixel art tutorial in the very next part. Now, I know some of you may not like the fact that the pixel art tutorial parts have been reduced from like an hour plus down to 30 to 45 minutes, but don't worry about that. That just means I'm going to be able to get a lot more of these tutorial parts out for you at a faster rate. If you don't believe me, go ahead and check the past 2 to 3 days. I've been on an uploading spree just because I've been able to have more time to work on these pixel arts and more time to edit them, which means these pixel art tutorial parts will be released at a faster pace. So don't worry about them being reduced. It's going to be several parts, that's fine, but you're going to be getting these pixel art tutorial parts a lot faster than having to wait for them for like, what, a week, 2 weeks just for the next part. But don't worry, you're going to be getting these a lot faster. So there's that. So with all of that being said, make sure to stay tuned in for more Minecraft videos.